Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. 10k like a boss. We're going to watch a couple of really decent replays with an insane amount of damage, like crazy amount of damage. Now this one, fair enough, does get pretty lucky because there is an AFK, but I mean, before that, he already does an insane amount of damage. So we're watching the Kranvagn or Kranvagn, or however you freaking say it, Kranvagn, and Fielder kicked your PP. Wow. Yeah, Fielder, and we're on a map with, it's great for the Kranvagn. Absolutely great. It's got these dunes, well, it's got these hills, sorry. This position especially is great for this tank. Now this tank is one of the best turrets in the game, and as I've said previously, not long ago, pretty much last week, that this, played correctly, this tank is the best tank currently in the game. Now Fielder here, he's not the best of players, and I don't mean to disrespect him in any way. According to his stats, I mean, he is just a 52% player, which is still above average, like way above average. He wins more than he loses, so that's still pretty good. But I'm just saying that because people look at people's win rates and it's like, ah, you're shit, blah 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 blah. Yes, he does get lucky with an AFK. I'm not denying that. But in the meantime, it's for a player of 52% to do a battle like this is what I do say. Don't always take win rate into account. I've been carried by 40% players previously. Sometimes it takes them a lot of battles to get used to it, to get used to the game. They may have had 10,000 battles before they started playing really well, or before they started to learn the game. So this game in particular is just like absolutely, it showcases win rate doesn't matter, and it showcases just how strong the Kranvagn actually is. So he's bounced 1100 damage already. He's already up to 3.7k, and that's the thing with the Kranvagn, and not just the Kranvagn, that's the same thing with any sort of auto reloader. You really do pump out that damage. The DPMs on the tanks, the DPM on the tanks are extremely low, like the worst in the tier on most auto reloaders. But it really doesn't feel like it when you're able just to pump that damage out really, really, really quickly. And because of the auto reloading system, you can sort of decide whether it will be good to reload one shell. And that's what Fielder does here. That's what Fielder does in this battle, which I just think is great, and people don't often do what he's doing. So you can see here he's waiting for the 2 shells because he would have needed the 2 shells to clear that to clear the E100. However, he does high roll, and so I think someone else shoots him as well, and he does manage to clear him. So now you can see he's just spotted the pattern, so he now knows he should be AFK. It's 4 against 5. Now 3 against 5. However, of course, one tank is AFK, so it's 3 against 4. So he's dealing with this motion here. Now he could, hopefully he does high roll. If he low rolls, that would be unfortunate, but he does low roll, leaves him on 44, so that means he has to reload another shell. Hopefully he doesn't take a shot, which he doesn't. He does manage to get the bounce. He's going for the heat just to guarantee the pen, because of course he doesn't want to bounce at that moment. So now it's 2 against 4 or 2 against 3, however you want to call it. Now the pattern could easily come back alive. So in this situation, he is going to start using just a single shell. So he used a single shell there because, I mean, the FE is on a little bit of hit points, and it would have taken him maybe 3 or 4 shells to take care of him. So what he actually does now, he does take another shot into the FE215B, and now he knows that he can't clear him on one shot, and he doesn't have the DPM to deal with this guy. He absolutely needed that bounce. So he's reloaded one shell, he's waiting to reload the other shell, he does reload the other shell, and now he has the FE on a reload, and he can take him out. So that is now, what, 2k block damage, and he's pumped out 7,700 damage. But the Jaegeru on his team, unfortunately, has an E5 in front of him, and he has the Sheridan behind. So at this point, there is not much that the Jaegeru can actually do, and the E5 does take him out. So he finds himself on his own against 3 tanks, and he is a one-shot. So that even though there is an AFK, and I know these guys basically it's going to take 3 shells to clear them, or both of them, sorry, unless he does high roll or more than average rolls on the Sheridan. Now the Sheridan is rushing in, and he's rushing in thinking, okay, I can take a shot, but he can take a shot, but he bounces his shot, which is very unfortunate. And because he shoots him twice, the E5 now is just going to push forward. Now what Vilda does is loads up that HE. He knows he can do enough damage to clear him, which is absolutely perfect. So without the AFK, he has managed to bounce 2,500 damage, and he's up to 8,225 damage. With 1.5 minutes left on the clock, he does need to be quick, because this guy is full hit points. There is still 2,000 damage to deal with. Now what he's going to do here, he doesn't want to waste any time, so while he is moving, he is just going to load up the heat. He doesn't really need to, actually he does change to APCR, but he's only got 1 shell of APCR left now, so he is going to get behind him, do the right thing. It's only 1 minute left on the clock, and he's just going to reload the 3 shells, and that is the best thing. He's not going to do it one at a time because of that time, because of the time is running low. He doesn't want to risk anything, and he knows that he's able to reload all 3 shells in time before the clock comes down. Like, loads of time. There is loads of time left. I mean, 3 seconds left, and he's still got over 40 seconds. So once he reloads all 3 of his shells, he is now just gonna shoot the rear of this guy. And I mean, what a good game that was. I mean, 2,500 block damage, and he ends on 10,186 damage. That is a crazy, or 180 damage. That is a crazy amount of damage for any win rate person, let alone 52%. So I really wanted to show that, because it's not always the 60-70% players that can perform well. Yes, he needed a little bit of luck with the AFK, but he still managed to pump out 8,000 damage before that AFK. And as you can see here, I mean, he's a good player. He is a good player. Average damage is about average, to be honest. Win rate above average, and he's played a lot of games. So well played, Fielder. That is #1 in the Hall of Fame worldwide, currently in the Kranvagn. So GG. Next up, we have another Hall of Fame game, and this is #1 in the deathstar, the highest damage ever done in the deathstar. Now, I previously have done a world record, or a couple of world record damage games in the deathstar, and this yet is another one. Now, the deathstar used to be such a fun tank to play. It still is when it goes your way, but because it was nerfed that time with the camo and everything like that, it's just an average tank, and you'll do more 0 damage in this tank than you will in any other tank. Trust me. If you miss your shot and you get rushed by some mediums or some big TDs, you're dead, and there's nothing you can do about it. So we are now watching Mayo, and I think he is from the Asia clan. Now, this isn't the best of maps for a TD. Wow, that was actually a nice shot. Watch his hit points. Let's carry on watching. 700 hit points left from that bat chat. So he has now just done, what, over 1,000 damage, well over 1,000 damage straight within sort of 40 seconds. So that's not actually going to show on the counter to the side, because it was a blind shot. That doesn't actually include on the counter. So bear that in mind when you're watching the damage count go up. So there goes 1 tank already, and there goes the bat chat. So he does clear the bat chat to bring it now down to a 6 versus 6, and his first kill. So he's sitting at the back. Again, I don't really like this map. I don't really like this map. It's not the best of maps. Oh, hello, yo. Thank you for giving me your side. Oh, RNG is on our guy's side here. He is still burning 1,591 damage. Now, one of the most broken tanks in tier 10 at the moment has just received a nasty hit, nasty hesh, and now he's a one-shot. He was full hit points, but he's just literally lost 2k damage. That was an unfortunate miss. I mean, that was very close, but you know, snapshots like that in the deathstar sometimes go in, but most of the time you just completely miss. But he has to go for that guy. He has to ignore everyone else now, because nobody is going for the cap now except for this chieftain. So the chieftain has actually come to help him. He is spotted, so he has to be very careful, because I mean, you can be spotted from a mile away in the Death Star. So the Chieftain doesn't actually go for the Chieftain in the cap. He's going to go for the kill first and then sit in the cap. So that's actually really good play from the Chieftain. And now we have another HE shot and another fire into the Chieftain. So that's pumped his damage up to 3,700. In fact, if you include the blind shot, he is now on 4,400. So pretty decent. Is he able to keep the Chieftain alive? Unfortunately not, but that stops the, at least he doesn't get shot, and at least he is still full hit points for now. So 2 kills for him, and it is now 3 against 4, but there is still a lot of hit points to go. The Chieftain Mark 6 there is still over 2,000. You have the T22, which is still high, and you have the IS-7, which is still high. If he's, I mean, what I said in my video previously, like, don't always do what, another fire there, the RNG, don't always do what people expect you to do. And that really, this battle showcases that. He's literally flanking around. So he's able to get these side shots into these guys to pump out that hesh. Now, is he going to, RNG, 1,400. If that was me, I'd do 1,100 or bounce. Like, honestly, he's 7,400 damage and he hasn't even broken a sweat yet. Easy, absolutely easy. 3 kills, but it is now a 1 versus 3 situation. Can't quite get that IS-7. He really needs to kill this Chieftain because he's a one-shot, and he has the DPM, and of course, again, what is this? What is this RNG? Like, he's definitely paid for RNG. Like, 100% he has paid for RNG. So he's backing up now. That was a nice miss there from the Chieftain. He is now on 9,000 damage, and it's still a 1 versus 3. But now all 3 tanks are one-shots. He only has 1 hesh left, so he has to use that very wisely. So he's just waiting to try and spot these tanks. Does he go in? No. Here comes the IS-7. He's decided to flank around, which again is the right choice, but unfortunately the Chieftain decided to get a little bit greedy and come out. Now that was a bad decision. Very bad decision. Why he didn't wait for the IS-7, I do not know. At least if he waits for the IS-7, the IS-7 could even die, fair enough, but the Chieftain would be able to shoot the Death Star twice before the Death Star's reloaded. Maybe even sort of, it would have been a different outcome. 100%. If that Chieftain would have waited for the IS-7 or even the Jaegeru to come, it would have been a completely different outcome. But he got greedy, and now he's paying the price. It is a 1 versus 1. He's now going to try and bait the Jaegeru. Again, if this was me, I'd be like, right, I'd calculate it. Right, okay, 935 hit points. I can take a shot from the Jaegeru, unless he high rolls, which is, I mean, there's a certain percentage. I mean, he tries to bait him, and it does work. The Jaegeru, that was a bad miss there. Sorry for that motorbike. Stupid. I'm recording here. Stupid. No, I don't even know why he can't hear me. But 10,700 damage. Very good play. RNG was definitely on his side there. 2,100 base XP, and he only has 11 shots on target. 11 shots, almost 11,000 damage. Absolutely crazy, but well deserved. So guys, is your RNG? Do you get RNG like that? If you do, let me know in the comments below, because I for sure never get that kind of RNG. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'm meadsy69. Couple of nice Hall of Fames there. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.